Rachel with So Love Yoga. I've got a special sequence for you cyclists out there. So I know you spend a ton of time all crunched over, hunched over. We are going to do a lot of opening, a lot of low back core work, get into those quads and hammies. So hopefully you enjoy it and it feels good. We're going to start just with an easy seat. So I'm going to face you. You can face the top of your mat. So just take a moment to focus, to arrive on your mat. Take a couple of deep breaths just to tune out whatever else you have going on. Try to just focus on your body, your breath, and we're just gonna make some shapes, have some fun with it, stretch yourself out. So to start, just go ahead and pull your elbows. That's not your elbows, those are your shoulders. Pull your shoulders up into your ears and then let them fall down. Inhale, squeeze them up nice and tight. Exhale, let them melt down your back. 2 more times. Inhale, lift them up high, squeeze them in. Exhale, roll them down. Shoulders come up. Exhale, relax them down your back. We spend a lot of time with our shoulders up in our ears, so it's good to make a conscious effort to just let them fall down. Inhale, go ahead and look over your right shoulder. Stretching out that neck, gaze goes over the shoulder, maybe a little behind you, back to center, come over to the left, back through center, right to center, and left, back to center. Go ahead and bring that chin down to your chest, keeping those shoulders relaxed down your back. Inhale, look up. Exhale, chin to chest. Look up. And then just come to neutral. Inhale, arms reach high. Right hand plants down on the mat next to your right hip. Left arm reaches up and over. So really press into that palm that's touching down to the mat, reaching those fingertips long. So you should feel a nice side body stretch all up and down the left side here. Reach with those fingertips, pressing the hips or your sits bones, pressing your sits bones into the ground. Reach with the fingertips. Inhale, extend the hands high. Exhale, left hand comes down, right arm reaches up and over. Again, pressing the palm into the mat, maybe even gaze up toward that right elbow. Feeling that awesome side body stretch. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, left hand comes to that right knee. Right palm plants on the ground behind your right hip. Turn to the right. Gaze over that right shoulder. Crown of the head reaches high as you twist. Pull your belly button towards your spine to get a little deeper. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, twist left. Right hand to left knee. Left palm to the mat behind your left hip. Glance over that left shoulder. Deep stretch, deep twist. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, bring your hands down to the mat, coming into a tabletop position. So wrists right underneath shoulders, knees right under your hips, finding a table. As you inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze, open that chest. Exhale, curl the tailbone under, chin pulls in towards your chest, press the mat away. Inhale, belly drops, chin lifts. Exhale, tuck and curl. Inhale, lift the gaze. Exhale, press the mat away, curl in. Inhale to neutral. Go ahead and lift that right knee off the ground, let it hover, and then we're just gonna do some hip circles here. So that right knee is making giant circles. We're gonna get into the hips a lot today. Do some different movements with your body. Go ahead and switch directions. So I know cyclists, you're always moving forward, right? Everything's in a straight line forward. So we're gonna mix it up a little today, going in all directions. All right, bring that knee so it hovers to the ground, then pull it towards your nose. Step your right foot in between your hands. You might need to help it here, that's totally fine. Not a big deal. Go ahead, you might need to wiggle that knee back a little bit, your back knee, and then lift the chest. If this is hard on your knees, you can always double your mat over to give yourself a little extra padding or stick a blanket or a towel under. So lift the chest, let that left hip kind of drop down, feel the stretch, and then lift your palms to your right knee. Start to lift the upper body up nice and tall. And then when you're ready, arms can reach up high overhead. So press down into that right foot, pressing the mat away from your body. And then inhale, look up. Exhale, pull those elbows down to the side. So goalpost the arms, lifting through the chest. Gaze can be up a little bit if that feels good. Shift the hips forward. Inhale, reach high. Right hand comes down at your side, left arm reaches up and over. So you should feel a really good stretch in your IT band here in the front of your left hip. So pressing the left hip forward, let it sink forward. Reaching up and over, maybe gaze at that left elbow. Sink low. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, hands come to frame your foot and then start to shift your hips back toward your left heel. Right toes point up toward the sky. And your leg may be straight. It may have a big bend to it. You just do whatever feels good in your body. So you should feel a deep stretch in the back of your right hamstring. Pull your toes towards your head. And you can be up on your fingertips here. Just kind of play around. We're all made differently, so our body makes shapes differently, and it feels different for all of us. So just really listen to your body here. This should never hurt. You should just feel a nice deep stretch. All right, bend into that front knee. The left hand plants next to your right foot. Right arm opens up to the sky, twist. So again, sinking the hips toward the mat, and then lifting up and open with that right hand. Gaze can be up at your fingertips, or if it feels better, you can gaze down at the mat. So there's no right or wrong. Just do what feels good for you. Inhale, open a little more, sink the hips low to the ground. And then options here. If you want to, you can start to bend that back foot, bringing your foot towards your butt. You can reach back with your right hand and gently grab that foot to pull it in. Now this hurts. Like my husband, who is the cyclist, he cannot do this. It hurts his knees. So if you feel any pain, back off. Just let the foot drop. Keep opening up. But if it feels good, you can reach back, sink the hips forward as you pull that heel towards your butt. Open through the shoulder, gaze back. Breathe here. Exhale, release. One more big breath in. Exhale, release your foot. Right arm reaches high. And then bring it back down to the mat. That right knee is going to come back underneath your body. Shift the hips side to side. Nice work, guys. Hopefully this is feeling good. And hopefully when you're here, you can tell the right side of your body is already feels stretched. So left knee floats off the mat, and then start to do those hip circles forward. Really getting into some big movement here. Make it as big as you want. And then switch directions. Using that glute. All right, bring it underneath your body and then pull your knee towards your nose. Look in between your hands, step your foot there. You can help it out, just however you want to get it there. Sink the hips toward the mat. You might need to wiggle that back leg back. Top of your back foot is pressing into the mat. Lift the chest, come up on the fingertips, and then bring the hands up to the thigh. And then you can stay here if you want. Reach the hands high to the sky. So palms face one another. Melt the shoulders down the back. So we want to try to keep our shoulders relaxed as much as possible. Inhale, look up. Exhale, pull the elbows down, open, goalpost those arms, or cactus arms, whichever you prefer. Look up at the sky. Inhale, reach up. Left hand comes down at your side, right arm reaches up and over. So again, sinking those hips kind of forward. Reaching up with those right fingertips. Maybe you glance up at your elbow crease, but you should feel that in the front of your right hip. Inhale, reach back high. Exhale, right hand plants down next to your left foot. Left arm opens up, twist. So when we're twisting, it's so good for your entire body. It helps kind of get air and let oxygen in. Pull the belly button toward the spine to get a little deeper in those twists. We're also strengthening our low back, our abs, our obliques. It's good all over. Go ahead and bring the heel up towards your butt. Reach back towards that foot. I was totally missing mine, but I got it. I found it. Again, only if this feels okay in your knees. If this hurts at all, back off, okay? Always, always listen to your body. Pull the heel towards your glute. Maybe you gaze back over that shoulder, or maybe you keep your gaze down at your fingers. Hugging the left knee in as you do this. You don't want it to flap open too much. But just hopefully you feel that stretch in the front of your quad. Release it down. Reach the arm back up. And then bring it down to the mat. Bring the knee underneath your body, coming back to tabletop. Shift the hips side to side. And then we're going to get into the wrists a little bit here. So I know cyclists, you put a lot of pressure on your wrists sometimes. So we want to flip the right fingertips so they're facing back towards your knee. Palm is faced up. And then you can just gently rock forward and backward. So you should feel a really good stretch in your wrist here. Again, no pain. Okay, so back off if you feel pain. But just gently rock. All right, and then switch that back. Left fingertips face towards you, palm up. Rock it. Nice work. All right, flip it over. And then we're gonna just step back to a plank. So right foot steps back, left foot steps back, plank. So it's super important to have a strong core when you're spending lots of time on your bike. So we're gonna work a little bit on our core here, okay? So you might wanna take a little bit of a wider stance with your feet, and then right hand reaches forward, bring it down. Left hand reaches forward, bring it down. Right hand forward, come down. Left hand forward, bring it down. We'll go one more time. You can always pause the video and do more here if you want. Go ahead and shift forward on your toes, and then keep those elbows hugged in. You're gonna lower all the way down to the belly. Untuck your toes. Fingertips are gonna lift just off the mat slightly. Pull the crown of your head forward, and then using your low back, just arch a little bit up. So we wanna exercise your low back here, build some strength. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, float the hands, lift the chest again. Gaze should be down at your mat, so pull the crown of your head forward, arching through that low back. Tops of your feet are pressing into the mat. Exhale, lower down. One more time, hands float, chest floats. Pulling the crown of your head as far away from your toes as possible. Exhale, lower down. Nice work. Tuck the toes under, plant the palms next to your shoulders, and then press it up, high plank. Take a breath here. And then you're just gonna use your glute, squeeze it and lift that right heel toward the sky, lower it down. Inhale, lift the left glute, left leg, lower it down. Inhale, right lifts, set it down. Left lifts, set it down. So make sure you're pulling your belly button toward the spine, really engaging through that core, strong through the arms. Hips are lifted. And then go ahead and shift forward on your toes. Squeeze the elbows in, lower all the way to the belly. Your palms are gonna come forward just a tiny bit on the mat. And then this time we're gonna do a press up. So press up, maybe your arms are straight. So let your hips melt into the mat. So you kind of, almost like someone's pressing or sitting on your low back, pressing your hips in. Gaze probably at the edge of your mat. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, press up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift it up. Lower down. We'll do a few more. So I was having a lot of low back issues, and this is something my chiropractor recommended that I do a couple sets of 10 every day, and it helped a ton. So we'll do 2 more. You got this here. You didn't know you were getting a workout, huh? Lift it up. Lower down. Tuck the toes, press it up, high plank. All right, last round of these fun planks. This time we're gonna put the arms and the feet together. So right arm reaches forward, set it down. Left arm reaches forward, set it down. Right heel lifts, lower. Left heel lifts, lower. We'll do one more. Right hand up, left hand up. Right heel lifts, left heel lifts. The birds are super loud right now, so hopefully they're not too distracting. Go ahead and shift forward and then slowly lower all the way down to your belly. Untuck the toes. Hands come along your sides this time. Palms are faced up. And then as you inhale, start to lift your chest and then lift your feet. Maybe the quads come off the mat, the knees come off. Squeeze everything up. Crown of the head is reaching forward. So again, gaze down at your mat here. Inhale, lift a little higher. Exhale, lower down. You can bring those heels towards your glutes and just rock your legs side to side, little windshield wiper action. We're gonna do that one more time. So doing a lot to strengthen our low back here. Okay, extend those legs long. Arms come down to your sides, palms face up. Bring the chin to the mat. And then inhale, lift the chest, lift the arms, lift the feet. You can point your toes here, kind of squeeze your legs together, pressing those hip points into the mat. Inhale, lift a little higher. Exhale, lower down, let it go. Nice work. Bring those heels to the butt, rock side to side. All right, from here, legs come down to the mat. Tuck the toes under, chin to the mat. Hands plant under those shoulders, press it up, high plank. And then look back at your belly button. Start to pull your belly button towards your spine. Lift your hips up and back, down dog. So in down dog, you want to press your hands, all 10 fingers, into the mat. Your head hangs heavy, so no tension in your neck. The hips are reaching toward the sky. And your heels just sink toward the mat. They don't touch. Maybe they do, but rarely. So just sink those heels. You can even pedal your feet out here. It feels really good. So just lift one heel and then the other. All right, come to settle in. When you're ready, inhale, reach the right heel high. Bend the knee, open the hip up. So you want to open the knee up toward the sky, keeping that left heel sinking down to the mat. And then start to straighten it out, square off the hips, look between your hands, bring your foot in between your hands or help it there. Left hand plants, right arm reaches high to the sky, spiral open. So you can have your knee dropped here, or if you want to keep it lifted, really lift the back of your left knee toward the sky. And you're kind of spiraling open your chest towards the sky. So trust yourself. You sort of lean back on yourself here a little bit. One more big inhale. Exhale, bring that right hand down to the mat on the inside of your right foot. Let it kind of walk out a little bit. And then drop that back knee, untuck the toe. You can let that right knee fall open here. So this is lizard pose. And there's lots of variations here. Like it might not feel good for you to roll to the outer edge of your right foot and let your knee drop open. That's fine. Just do what feels good. You can hug the knee in if you want. You can also kind of lower down onto your forearms if this feels good. That back foot should be straight out behind you. So the top of your back foot should be pressing into the mat. And just feel what you feel here. Just breathe. All right, when you've had enough of that, you can walk up to your palms and then pull that foot back flat onto the mat. Tuck the back toe under, lift the knee. And then you're gonna scoot that right foot kind of underneath your nose and then rise up, crescent lunge. Reaching high, hands come down to your hips. Step that back foot in about halfway, straighten through both legs. Look up at the sky, open the chest. Exhale, fold forward. So pyramid pose here. This should be a strong stretch in the back of your right leg. You can also put a little bend into the front knee if that feels better. But just let the head hang heavy. So no tension in your neck. Release it. Let it go. Maybe your fingertips touch down on the mat. You can have your hands on your leg too if that feels better, or up at your hips. Lots of options here. If you've got blocks or books or something too, you can always put those underneath your hands to get a little deeper. All right, start to bend into that front knee. Walk the fingertips forward. Step the left foot forward to meet the right. And then a little more low back strengthening. You're gonna slide your hands up your shins. Maybe they come right above your knees. Pull the crown of your head forward. And shift the weight into your heels. So your tailbone is really pulling toward the back. Your crown of your head reaches toward the front. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, lift halfway again, pulling the crown of your head away from your tailbone. Exhale, fold. One more time, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, reach tall all the way to standing. Reach those hands up high to the sky. And then right hand comes down at your side, left arm reaches up and over. So pressing into that, I'll face you guys, pressing into that left foot so the left fingertips are really reaching. Inhale to center. Exhale, left hand comes down, right arm reaches up and over, pressing into your right foot. So you should feel that in your hip and all up and down your side body. Inhale to center. Bring those hands around to your low back, press the hips forward, lean back on yourself, open the chest. Nice job, come back to standing. All right, I'm gonna face back forward. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to your high plank, and then pull the hips up and back, down dog. Left heel reaches high to the sky. Bend the knee, open the hip. You can circle that ankle around. Extend the leg long. And then bring that knee towards your nose. Look between your hands, set your foot there. Right hand plants, left arm opens to the sky. So really lean back on yourself, open up here. Pulling the back of that right knee toward the sky. One more big inhale. Exhale, bring that hand into the inside of your left foot. Walk the left foot out a little bit. Drop the back knee, untuck the toe, rock the chest forward. So again, you can let that left knee roll open if that feels good. You can start to lower slowly down onto your forearms here. Gaze down kind of at your hands. And just breathe here. Feel what you feel. Hopefully it's feeling good. All right, go ahead and walk it back up. Bring that knee, kind of walk it over. That left hand comes to the outside edge of your left foot. Tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee, and then rise up, crescent lunge. Sink low. Breathe here. And then hands come to your hips, step the back foot in about halfway. Lift the chest to the sky, and then fold forward. Both legs are straight or straight-ish. Feet should be on like parallel train tracks here. So you can fold in. Again, let the head hang heavy. If this is too much on that left hamstring, you can put a slight bend into the front knee. But just breathe here. One more big breath in. Exhale, release it. Bend into that front knee, hands walk forward, step forward. Inhale, this time we're just gonna roll all the way up to standing, reach high. Hands come down at your sides. So we're gonna do one more, a quad stretch here. So start to bend your knee, bring that heel towards your glute. Reach back with your right hand for your foot. If this doesn't work, you can just grab your pants too. So no shame there. Just grab that heel towards your glute. Left arm can reach up to the sky. And you really want to press your hips forward. So press your hips forward. Keep your knees parallel to one another. At least try to. And then feel that. You should feel that in the front of your right leg. Good job. One more big inhale. Exhale, let it go. Shake it out a little bit. And then your left heel, shift your weight to your right foot, left heel pulls towards your glute. Reach back and grab it. Grab that foot. The knee is pointing down toward the ground, parallel to your right knee. Right arm reaches up. Press the hips forward as you pull that heel towards your glute. Relaxing the shoulders. Always try to keep the shoulders relaxed. And just breathe. Crown of your head reaches high. Belly is tight and engaged. One more big inhale. Exhale, release the foot. Shake it out. Inhale, reach high. Hands come to the heart center. And then I'm going to face you guys, but you're going to step your feet nice and wide. Maybe step back a little bit on your mat. And then step your feet wide so your feet are pointing toward the edges of your mat. And then start to squat down. So we're going to come into what we call in yoga, Malasana squat. There's a lot of different variations of this. So you can stay high in like a catcher's lunge or catcher's stance, or you can let the hips drop, the butt drops, hands can come to your heart. Kind of play around with where your feet are in this position. So just see what feels good for you. Protect those knees. But you can bring your hands to your heart and actually use your elbows to press your knees out. Lift the chest. Breathe. So this is a great hip opener. Great to build some strength. It can be challenging too, so just breathe. All right, bring those hands down to the mat. Lift the hips up straight to the sky. Lift halfway. Exhale, fold and walk the hands over to the right foot. So maybe your right hand wraps around and grabs your right wrist. Left hand comes toward your left foot. Again, you can have a little bend to your knees here or you straighten them out, but you should feel this stretch in the back of your right leg. Breathe. And then walk to center over. Wrap that left arm around your left ankle. Right arm reaches over. One more big breath in. Big breath out. Come back through center. And then you're just going to bend your knees, plant your hands, step it back to your high plank. And then drop the knees. Your butt reaches back towards your heels, child's pose. So this is another one. You can play around with your knees here. If you have low back pain, bring your knees closer together. If you want to get deep into your hips, bring your knees wide. Big toes kind of touch. Just play around with what feels good. And then just let your forehead connect to the mat, or you can also bring your fists here and let your forehead rest on your fist or your hands, whatever feels good. So just breathe here. One more big breath in. Big breath out. Rock your forehead side to side. And then hands walk back towards your knees. Lift the chest. Bring those legs around in front of you, just coming to a cross-legged seat here. So a couple options here. You can stack that right knee kind of on top of your left knee. It might look different for you, which is totally fine. So just do whatever feels comfortable. It can be more like this type of a position, or you can just be in your crisscross applesauce with your right leg on top. So wherever you're at, just inhale, reach up nice and tall. Make sure both sits bones are grounded, and then fold forward. So walk your fingertips out. You can tuck your chin to your chest. For me, it feels better if my knees are stacked, feet are kind of flexed, and then press your palms into the mat so that you're really pressing your hips down into the ground. So feel that connection, feel grounded. Should feel a nice hip opener. You can stay here. If you want a little deeper, you can walk your hands a little over to the left side and breathe. Walk them to center, over to the right side. And then lift the chest, rise up. Okay, that right foot is gonna plant down on the mat. Inhale, reach up high, and then exhale, twist. So you can wrap your left arm around your right leg, right hand plants right behind your hip, gaze over the right shoulder. Breathe here. Kind of a different variation of the twist you did at the beginning. Inhale back to center, reach high. And then bring your hands down to the side. Your right leg is gonna come out long. Easier from this position. And then bring that right foot to the mat. So we're coming into a seated pigeon or a figure four stretch. So a lot of options here, but you can bring your foot closer to your glutes. Fingertips can be facing back away from you. Just squeeze in and press your right knee away from your body, kind of in space. Flex through the foot. You can rotate the ankle here. So this should be a good hip opener. Just breathe here. Keeping that chest open to the sky or the ceiling. All right, and then start to straighten that leg out. We're gonna switch it up. So left leg stacks on top. Left stacks on top of right. Inhale, reach up high. Exhale, bring those hands out, walk them out in front of you. Press the palms deep into the mat, pressing your sits bones back into the ground. Chin pulls toward your chest. Breathe. And then hands walk a little bit over diagonally to the right. Really getting deep into the hips. And then walk them over to the left. Come back through center, lift the chest. Put that right foot onto the mat. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, wrap the right arm around that left leg. Again, sits bones are nice and grounded. Left palm plants behind you, gaze over the left shoulder. Breathe. Release. One more big breath in. Exhale, come back to center. And then we're gonna straighten that right leg out. Bring the right foot to the mat. Walk everything in toward the center line. Feels better for me if my fingertips are pointed toward the back of the mat. Heels toward the glutes. Sit up nice and tall here. Pressing that left knee open in space away from your body. Flex the foot. Rotate the ankle. Both directions. All right. One more big inhale. Exhale, straighten them out. Bring those feet together, so bottoms of your feet come together. And this, again, is going to look different. Your knees might be way up here. 100% fine. We're all made different. We're created different. You do you. So grab your feet. You're going to peel them open, kind of like you're reading a book. Sit up nice and tall. And then with a straight back, a flat back, kind of just start to walk forward. So I know you cyclists are in this position a lot, so try to kind of counter that pose and flatten the back out. Your fingertips can walk out, pressing those knees down toward the mat. Gaze kind of just in front of your fingertips. Just another breath here. Exhale. All right, walk the hands back up, reach forward, and we're gonna just slowly make our way down to our backs. I know this is supposed to be super graceful, but it never looks graceful for me. There's always like that plop at the end, which, whatever. It is what it is, right? So go ahead, make your way down with me, get that flop going, and then just lay here with your knees still open in that butterfly position, opening the hips. You can bring the feet closer in if you want to. Just play with it. And we're kind of moving through this a little quickly, so if you want to go back or if you want to pause and just hang out longer, hopefully I'm giving you guys some great options for stretches when you're feeling like you really need it. And as always, the more you do it, the better it will be. All right, bring those knees together. Feet are planted firmly into the mat. Palms come down at your sides, face down. Inhale, start to lift the hips toward the sky, coming into a bridge. So if this hurts your knees, walk your feet a little wider apart from each other. You can kind of play with the distance your heels are from your body as well. Shift the weight into your heels, so you should be able to pick up your toes. Exhale, lower the hips down. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. So you can keep this, or if you want to try an extra challenge, right heel lifts toward the sky. Inhale, lift the hips, keeping that right foot up, then lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. We'll do two more on this side. Lift, lower. Last one. Squeeze through that glute, really engage in the glute, and then lower down, switch it out. I know you guys are super excited to do the other side, right? So left heel reaches toward the sky, lift it up, lower down. We've got 4 total, so we're almost there. 2 more. Lift, lower, lift it up, squeeze, lower down. Good job. Bring those knees into the chest, grab a hold of your shins, rock side to side. Maybe make some circles. All right, and then you're gonna straighten the left leg long on the mat, so let the heel touch down. Hug that right knee into the chest. Rotate the ankle. And then you're gonna grab the outer edge of your right foot, and the right bottom of your right foot is gonna be like it's standing on the ceiling. So straight up into the air, pull that knee in towards your armpit. So really squeeze it in. This is like a half happy baby. You can bring your left hand to your left hip to keep it grounded. Just breathe here. This should feel good in your right hip. Keep that top foot flexed, and you're kind of pulling down into your foot with your hand. At the same time, you're pressing your foot into your hand. So getting that kind of counter action going. All right, let the heel drop towards your butt, and then pass your right knee off to your left hand. Bring it across your body for a twist. Right arm extends, right shoulder. You might get a little crack, snapple. What is it? Snapple, crack, pop? That doesn't sound right. Anyway, might get a little of that going on in your spine. That's all good. Breathe here. Try to get a little deeper with each exhale. Just starting to relax into your mat. All the hard work is over. You did awesome. Come back to center, hug that knee in, and then extend it long on the mat. Left knee comes into the chest, squeeze. Rotate that ankle. And then bring the bottom of your foot toward the ceiling. Grab that outer edge of that foot, pulling it down towards your armpit while you press your foot into your hand. Right hand is grounded on that hip, keeping that back, low back, touching down. Just breathe here. One more big breath in. Exhale, let the heel fall down towards your butt. Pass it off across your body to your right hand, coming into that twist. So left arm reaches long, gaze over the left shoulder. Breathe. In yoga, I don't know if you've noticed, we talk a lot about the breath. We come back to the breath. It's kind of how we focus the mind. I'm sure when you guys are pedaling through a hard workout on the bikes or punching up a hill, you probably focus on your breath too. So it's just a way to focus the mind, focus the body. All right, come up through center, hug those knees in nice and tight. You can do a little side to side rock, maybe circles with your knees in one direction, and then circle the other way. And then just hug them in nice and tight. Wrap your arms around your body. Squeeze your nose in towards your knees. And then release. Awesome job, y'all. You did it. So I hope that you found some really good exercises in there that will help you stretch and feel great after your body's tired from a long workout. I really appreciate you joining me today. I'd love to hear your feedback, any questions, comments, concerns, and thanks to Billy Loves Bikes for inspiring me to do this one. It's fun being married to a cyclist. Anyway, thanks so much. I appreciate it. Take care.